Vasudevaya Mangalam Jnanadayine Mangalam Parthivasaya Mangalam Sathya Saine Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Offering my most humble salutations at the divine lotus feet of Bhagwan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. Respected Uncle Subri Naidu, our Zone 9 chairperson, esteemed zonal coordinators, National Council presidents of Zone 9 countries, and all my dear Sai brothers and sisters, loving Sai Ram to all of you. We extend a warm and loving welcome to each of you of today's sacred gathering titled Reconnecting with the Divine. As we come together in Swami's divine presence, let us begin by humbly seeking his guidance and blessings throughout this workshop. It is now my privilege to invite our respected Zone 9 spiritual coordinator, Brother Suresh Nanlal, to introduce our esteemed speaker for today. Brother Suresh has been a guiding light for many in our community, and it is truly a blessing to have him lead us in this special moment. Brother Suresh, we warmly welcome you to take the session forward and introduce Brother S. Ravi Kumar, who will guide us in this divine reconnection. Jai Sai Ram.
Offering my humble salutations and prostrations to our divine and beloved Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba, dear embodiments of unconditional love. Om Shri Sai Ram. Dear respected leaders of Zone 9, devotees of Zone 9 joining us from different countries and across the world, very, very warm greetings to each and every one of you. We are so fortunate with the grace of Bhagavan to be having such a beautiful satsang and to have our esteemed guest, Brother Sri S. Ravi Kumar, joining us this afternoon. We know he has a very, very busy schedule in Prashanthi Nilayam, but we are fortunate and grateful to him to make the time today to join us in this beautiful satsang. It is my great pleasure in sharing some of his background with you. Brother Ravi Kumar was born in July. He spent his early childhood in Madikeri in Karnataka. He joined the Sri Sathya Sai Vidya Viharani in Uti in 1978 at the age of 7. He has a Bachelor of Commerce degree and an MBA of the Sri Sathya Sai Institute of Higher Learning. He was awarded the All-Rounder Gold Medal for proficiency in various fields, namely academia, sports, cultural, and spiritual activities. After his graduation in MBA in 1993, he was permitted by Bhagavan to join the Sri Sathya Sai Institute of Higher Medical Science in Puttaparthi, working as a senior manager in the radiology and urology departments. During the Dasara festivals of 1984, Ravi got a chance of a life when Swami called him on the stage in the Purna Chandra Auditorium and asked him to sing. Trembling with excitement and adrenaline rushing, he went up to the stage to Swami. A mic was placed before the 13-year-old boy, and Swami told him to sing the bhajan that we all adore, Rama Nayaka Baba. Dear brothers and sisters, there's so many lessons that we can learn from Brother Ravi Kumar, in fact, all the students of Bhagavan, one of the things that stands out for me is their humility. No matter where you see them, whether it's a Prashanti Nilayam, whether it's a workshop, whether they're addressing any program, they're always humble. And it's a great characteristic to have. And it's something that we can all learn from. Dear brothers and sisters, without further ado, it gave me great pleasure in welcoming Brother Ravi Kumar to address all of us. Jai Sai Ram.
Thank you, brother. Sai Ram. प्रशान्ति निलया निवासा अर्ज सुनो मेरे साई अर्ज सुनो मेरे परम कृपालु अर्ज सुनो मेरे परम कृपालु परतीश्वर साई देवा अर्ज सुनो मेरे परम कृपालु सत्य सनातन अंतर्यामी सकल चराचर तुम हो स्वामी जन्म मरण से पार करो भव बंधन से उद्धार करो बाबा भव बंधन से उद्धार करो अर्ज सुनो मेरे परम कृपालु offering our collective prayers at the lovely lotus feet of our most merciful Lord. Parama Kripalu Araj Suno Hamari. This wonderful Lord of ours is such a source of magnetic power that when we think of reconnecting to this wonderful Lord, who is such a powerful magnet, all we have to think is, if he is such a powerful magnet, we are always connected to him, right? Then where is the question of reconnecting to this powerful magnet called our Sathya Sai? Then our thoughts go back to Swami's words where he says that the magnet is always strong. It is just that the iron filings that have to get attracted to this magnet have rusted or they have dirt on it. Swami says, when the iron is rusted, obviously it cannot get attracted to the magnet. It does not belittle the magnet. So there is a very famous line from Saint Tyagaraja's life, where he asks, when he is praying to Lord Rama, and Lord Rama is somehow not responding to him. So he says in Telugu, Nalo bhakti leda, Nilo shakti leda. He questions Lord Rama. Don't you have the strength, Shakti, or don't I have the devotion, that is Bhakti? And the answer always is that there is something lacking in us. The Shakti of the Lord. Can you imagine the Lord of the universe who has created everything? Is it possible that he does not have Shakti? No, that magnet is always powerful, and it is our duty to make sure that we become worthy of being attracted to him. So that is the process of reconnecting to the divine. So when we're talking in this session about reconnecting to the divine, it is how we are going to use this aspect of Sai Bhajans to clean ourselves so that we can get reconnected to this beautiful Lord of ours. So I remember when I had just joined the hospital, there was a big cardiac conference here with more than 400 cardiology and cardiothoracic surgeons who had come from all around the world to attend the conference. And Swami had blessed some of us to take care of some of the doctors' rooms, right from how to lay the bed sheets and how to keep the rooms clean, what should each room be equipped with, etc. And then we would also have the duty of cleaning cups that has been left behind in the room. So when Swami would come into the room with us, and then he would show us this cup which was kept in the sink, then he'll say, you see the stain in that? There was tea stain in that. And he says, will it go easily if you wash it? He said, no, Swami, it won't go easily. I said, what you should do is, he said, Swami, will soak it in water. He said, yes, you should soak it in water for a while, and then it becomes easy to clean, so the dirt will go easily. I said, yes. So for Swami, the beautiful thing is he takes these small, simple things in life and teaches us such huge lessons. So Swami said, similarly, the heart that is filled with malam, with all the worldly, the dirt in the heart, he says, you fill that heart, you soak it with the water of namasmarana. He says, then it becomes so easy to clean the heart, just like it is so easy to clean the glass. No, it is such a beautiful lesson for all of us, for our whole life, saying that yes, anytime we feel that there is something wrong in our heart, somewhere we are feeling that we are not able to connect to this beautiful magnet, we have to turn to Namasmarana. Yes. And if we go back to why is Namasmarana so important? Yes, we know that Lord Vishnu had told Narada that Mad Bhakta Yatra Gayanti Tatra Tisthami Narada. And Swami has said that in Kali Yuga, compared to a Dwapar Yuga and a Treta Yuga, in Kali Yuga, Namasmarana is the easiest way to attain liberation. What did we all pray in the first bhajan? Janan Marana se par karo. No, that is what we are looking for. So that is the reason why we are going to pray to this Lord. And if we go back to what bhajans are all about, we can start with sound itself. Why is sound so important in the first place? The Vedas declare that Akashad Vayuhu Vayu Ragnihi Agnerapah Adbhya Prithvi Prithivya Oshadhayah Oshadibhyonnam. It says the sky, Akasha, is the primordial, it is the very first thing to come into existence. And then from there, the earth and the water, and finally it comes down to even the food that we eat. That is the correlation that Swami makes through the Vedas, that right from there. And if you look at the Jnanendriyas that are related to Akasha, Vayu and Agni and Apaha and Prithvi, so we find that the subtlest of all of them, of all the Jnanendriyas, that Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha, if you look at these five, Jnanendriyas, Akasha has got only sound. The very first thing that came into creation, the only Indriya that is associated with Akasha is sound. So when the creation came, there was sound. And we know what, sound has so much impact on all of us, right? For example, Swami has given these examples. He says, if you hear a bell, you just hear a bell, you are immediately transported to either a temple or to a church, or some of the students over here, they say it reminds me of our lunch bell. Without saying anything, just the sound of a bell. And Swami also says, suppose you hear the creak of a door, it is all quiet and you hear creak. Immediately you find some, creepy sensation inside. Nothing has been said, it is just the sound. That is the effect that sound has on us. And imagine, and Swami gives this example beautifully, he says, imagine a sound with a word which the meaning of which you know. So suppose you're sitting somewhere and somebody just suddenly shouts, fire, fire. We are all going to run helter-skelter, right? Or we are going to get scared. Swami says, your heartbeat is going to increase. Your BP will raise. You may start sweating. Your legs will start moving automatically. All these things happen just by hearing the word fire. You're not felt the fire. You're not on fire. Nobody around you is on fire. But just listening to that word fire. So that is the power that the word itself has. Then Swami says, this word, if it is the divine name, just imagine the power that that word can do to us. We spoke about this divine magnet, right? This huge, unimaginably big personality called God, who has created us, who has created everything from the beginning and which will be in the future. To that personality, that name that we give, it can be any name, right? Swami doesn't say you have to stick to name A, B, C. No Rama, no Krishna. That's why, in our bhajan, Sarva Dharma is so important. Take any name. That name which denotes the supreme power. Imagine the impact that such a name can have on us. Right? So that is the name of God. And coming further down, taking the name of God, you can just mention the name of God. Swami says, when this powerful name of God is used with an instrument, with a vehicle called music, what happens to that? What magic and what transformation happens to that word? That word, Swami says, he also says, see, there is something called Yantra. What is a Yantra? Yantra, Swami says, is any instrument that will help us. For example, if you look at a Yantra called a telescope, what does it do? Swami said, this telescope is a Yantra that brings far away things close to us. Similarly, a Yantra like a microscope. Something that is close to us, it brings it even closer. These are yantras. And Swami says, similar to these yantras is a mantra. What does a mantra do? Something that is so close to us. God is always very close to us. It brings that God even closer. So that is a mantra. So the word, which is the name of God, which is so powerful, by itself can impact us so much. We know the impact that it had on Valmiki, right? He was a robber. When the saints went and told him to just chant Rama's name, that transformed Ratnakara into Valmiki. He became Valmiki who gave us the Ramayana. That is the magic of that name. And Swami says this mantra, every prayer that we make to this beautiful Lord of ours is a mantra. right? It doesn't have to be necessarily a Sanskrit mantra or a mantra in any other language. Anything that goes from our heart directly to the Lord is a mantra. And this mantra, Swami says, how can you offer it to God? He says, again he takes the example of Saint Tyagaraja. He says, when Tyagaraja wanted Lord Rama to come and help him, he could have said, Rama, Nannu Kapadura. And Rama would probably have come rushing to the help of his devotee. Tyagaraja was a great devotee of Lord Rama. And then Swami says, instead of that, Tyagaraja sang, Rama Nannu Kapadura, Rama Nannu Kapadura. Swami sings this so sweetly. And then he says, when Saint Tyagaraja prays to God, to Lord Rama like this, Rama rushes even faster. So Swami says, when you add this mantra, which is a prayer that you're making to God, along with a tune, that is what Lord Rama likes. Our Lord Sai Ram also. We are so lucky that, Swami, we call him, Gana Priya, Gana Lola. He's somebody who loves music, and he says, you pray to me through this medium of adding your prayer with music, and you offer it to me, and I shall respond to it quickly. That is the kind of confidence that Swami gives us through this medium. So these are all points about why Sai bhajans. Why should we use bhajans as a means to reconnect to the Lord? And I'll just quote Swami here verbatim. Swami says, in this busy age of fear and anxiety, the remembrance of God and repetition of his name is the one means of liberation that is accessible to all. Remembrance and chanting his name, singing his name, which he has done so beautifully through this medium of Sai bhajans, is not just for 1, 2 or 3 people. It is for everybody to participate in that. And Swami goes on to say about Sai bhajans, people say that when you go to Sai Baba, there is nothing but devotional singing, that is bhajans. And Swami says, realize that there is nothing greater than bhajan. What bliss is there in bhajans? Swami has said, what a demonstration of oneness it is when a myriad of throats join in uttering the name of God. This is not just Sankirtana where one person is singing. A myriad of throats, all of us together, when we sing the name of God. So he says, what demonstration of oneness is there? The vibrations emanating from them make the heart vibrant. If you sing alone in the shrine, the vibrations return to you as a reaction. But in community singing, what you have is not a reaction, but a wave of vibrations. They enter the atmosphere and purify the polluted air, Swami says. That is the power of bhajans that Swami has given us. Yeah. And the atmosphere today, Swami goes on to say, is polluted by bad thoughts and feelings. This is what we need to do. This is the process of using Namasmarana through Sai bhajans to soak our, heart that is filled with mala, the heart that is dirty, to clean it, to soak it with Namasmarana and Sai bhajans, so we make it clean. So we clean the rusted tumbler that we have, we make it clean, and we make that tumbler go towards the magnet that is our beautiful Lord. So at this point, let's just take Swami's name, since we have spoken about Sai bhajans. Just sing a few lines of Swami's bhajans. I know in an online session it is not easy to follow. You can all sing along wherever you're sitting, in a center, in your house, wherever you are. Narayana Hari Narayana Bhaja Narayana Sai Narayana Hari Narayana Narayana Sai Narayana Narayana Hari Narayana Narayana Sai Narayana Narayana Hari Narayana Jaya Narayana Sai Narayana Narayana Hari Narayana Narayana Sai Narayana Narayana Hari Narayana Narayana Sai Narayana Narayana Hari Narayana Bhajan Narayana Sai Narayana. Okay, moving forward, just thinking when we talk about Sai Bhajans, we have now spoken so far about why Sai Bhajans. Okay, the other important thing as a bhajan workshop during which we are trying to say that this is how bhajans must be offered to the Lord, so that it becomes palatable to him, so that he comes rushing to us as he said he would. So the how, the why of Sai Bhajans we have spoken. So the how of Sai Bhajans. This is also based on some of the questions that I have got from some of you. So the how of Sai Bhajans and whether there are any rules regarding Sai Bhajans. As far as we know here in Prashanti Nilayam, the bhajans that we do have only been guided initially by how Swami has asked us to practice and sing the bhajans. And after that, based on Swami's reactions to bhajans, where he has directly told us how to sing, how not to sing, what not to sing. And sometimes based on his facial expressions that he has shown us while he was sitting so beautifully on that throne and we would sing. And sometimes it is through something specific that he would send word, either through the warden sometimes through the music in charge of the group. So whatever I'm going to tell you is only based on that. It is not anything that is written, at least not yet written in a sense, what we follow here. So it is a culmination of all these things that we have. And the only reason that I am in a sense, I am speaking to you all about how Sai Bhajan should happen is because Swami has allowed a few of us to sing bhajans here for a few years. And we, because we have been in the Prashanti Bhajan group for some time, and we think that if bhajans are done this way, we pray that Swami would be pleased with us. So this is the introduction to the how of Sai Bhajans, how we should do Sai Bhajans. Okay. There are two things that I would like to touch upon here. One thing is the individual sadhana that we have to do as part of being in a bhajan group. And the bhajan group is not just the group that sits in front and leads bhajan. So everybody who is sitting together and singing is the bhajan group, not the lead group, but we are all the bhajan group. Because Swami said, when it is the myriad of throats that join in communion, so that is what we are looking at. So for the bhajan group, so there is an individual sadhana and there is a group sadhana. So the individual sadhana is probably more to the people who are going to lead the bhajans, So let me get to it quickly. So first thing is practice. So we have heard it so many times, and we have also said it so many times that Swami has said 100 times practice. A bhajan, practice it 100 times so that you perfectly have the words in place, you perfectly have the tunes in place, you perfectly have the emotion that the bhajan is trying to convey. We have that in our hearts. And the last time, we are so immersed in the bhajan that sakshat, we should be able to visualize, we should be able to see Swami. That is what Swami has said these many number of times practice would do to us. And we always say that, for human beings, boredom is something that comes so easily, right? So can you imagine practicing a bhajan 100 times? I find it very difficult to fathom this many times. I think Jaya Guru Omkara, Jaya Jaya Sadguru Omkara Om. And I think, yeah, I think I pretty much got it. Swami says, no. Have you practiced it 100 times? If we are able to absorb this quality of Swami, where he says, where he has this quality of Nitya Nutana. Every time everything is new for Swami, and he always has that freshness and newness about him and about everything that is going on around him. So, if we can imbibe that Nitya Nutana, just think, for Swami, there was nothing called boredom. Each time we do a practice, it is to make ourselves perfect so that we clean our insides. Yeah, so we all have to remember that this whole exercise is pointed towards cleaning ourselves so we connect to our divine magnet, right? So practice, this cannot be overemphasized. And there are some ways of practice. Yeah, if, specifically in a bhajan workshop which is meant only for lead singers, probably we can delve more in depth. But generally we've been told by many of the music masters who come, and many among you are very learned musically. So one thing they all speak to us about is the practice of Hari Om. Okay, so it is so important even in Sai Bhajans. You see, if you are able to do a Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om. Yeah, so this is the idea. If we can do it on multiple octaves, multiple notes, what this is going to help us is with all the notes that we come across in Sai Bhajans, that where these notes are either short, or especially when these notes are long, it helps us to have stability of the voice. So for Shri Kari Kripa Kari Kshemankarī Saishwarī. So you see, E is there so much. Govind bolo, Gopal bolo, O Hari Om. This is there. Bhajare Ram Charan Satatam, Bhajare Ramacharan. So the n and m's with the Hari Om, those will get perfect when we do Hari Om practice. So another point I would like to talk about is the breath control. For example, if you are singing a bhajan Anupama Sundara, even if some of you are following bhajans, keep this in mind. Okay, before you start the line, take a deep breath, because breath control is so important. And if it's too long a line, where to take breath within a line is also so important. So if Anupama Sundara Nanda Kishora Brindavana Ghanasham it is not Ghanasham it is not, it is actually an extension. Sham, Ghanasham. It is. So we should remember that we should take deep breath. Breath is such an essential part of our life. And there are so many scientific studies coming out about how breath is so important to every aspect in our life, for our health. And for bhajan singing, definitely this breath control, and we can do pranayama practice, and know how to take a lung full of breath, so that we are not breaking the lines and doing ah. So it is like you're decorating the line, whereas the whole idea of a bhajan is not that. It is sham. So that is the whole word. So that is one other thing that I wanted to say. And a very important aspect of individual sadhana, these are all parts of individual sadhana, right, is to choose a bhajan that we can sing. Many times we love a particular bhajan, but I can't go ahead and sing that bhajan just because I like it. There is something, we have to sing something that is commensurate to our ability to sing, right? This ability is either based on our learning and also based on the range of our voice. There are so many things which determine what bhajans we can sing. So it is very important to choose the bhajans that we can sing. And a very important point that is to be made, and across samitis and wherever we have had the opportunity to sing, we say this: singing a complicated bhajan does not guarantee us a higher seat in heaven. Yeah, we have emphasized this in many bhajan workshops, saying that, oh, when we go up to heaven, hopefully we're all going up to heaven after doing namasmarana, and there God is waiting and asks, you sang Anupama Sundara, you go up. You sang Radha Krishna Karuna Lola, you go down. It is not that. What matters is with what love and what purity we are learning and we are singing the bhajan for Swami. And how this individual sadhana is so important, because it affects the whole group. If I want to sing a complicated bhajan, even though I am not able to, we are going to distract a whole load of devotees, right? So it is very important to choose something that we can sing, and also at a comfortable scale. See, there are various bhajans where I can sing in C sharp, somebody can sing in D, and somebody can sing on a D sharp. So it depends on our ability. Anupama Sundara, if I'm singing on C sharp, Anupama Sundara, somebody will be more comfortable with that, because there is also a high line. We have to remember how high we can go. Based on that, we have to choose the scale on which, just because X is singing on D, I will also sing on D. No matter that when I sing the high line, my voice is going to crack. Just imagine what will happen when our voice cracks, and there are so many devotees, the amount of distraction that we are going to give them. So we should choose a comfortable scale that we are going to sing in, and we should know the meaning of what we sing. This is so important, because if we don't know the meaning, it could lead to a lot of unwanted situations during bhajans, where we have had among ourselves, we have sung without knowing the meaning, and it has led to funny situations. So people laughing in the middle of the bhajans, so it is not right. And just to give you one example, we asked one brother that, see, for today you choose a Hanuman bhajan. And then he said, I will sing Koti Pranam, Shata Koti Pranam. And we asked him, brother, this is not Hanuman bhajan. He said, no, I heard the other brother sing other day. He sang it as Koti Pranam. In Telugu, the word Koti means monkey. So this brother, he heard it as Koti Pranam, Shata Koti Pranam. So he thought it is a bhajan on Koti. The one Koti we pray to is the monkey Lord we pray to is Lord Hanuman. So he thought it is a Hanuman bhajan. Imagine the situations if we don't pronounce properly, if we don't know the meaning. The brother who sang didn't know Koti Pranam. Koti means a crore pranam, millions of pranams to you. So this is what could happen if we don't know the meaning, and if you are not able to pronounce it properly as well. Yeah, moving ahead, there is another thing on delivery of bhajans, but we can do an entire bhajan workshop on delivery, how the voice should be rendered, etc., etc. I'll just move on quickly to group sadhana, because this is very important for the bhajan group, that is the bhajan lead group, and everybody else also. So the one very important thing, because this is also a bhajan workshop, um, uh, the one very important thing is the bhajan coordinator, who is responsible for the bhajan session in any center. There are two things that are essential. One thing is competence. Yeah, when we say that somebody is a bhajan coordinator, that person should be competent enough musically to tell anybody else how a bhajan should be. And selflessness. So there should be nothing for me when I'm planning a bhajan session where we all together going to pray to Swami, right? There should be nothing in it for me selfishly. Either I like this bhajan, so I want you to sing this bhajan, or I prefer a particular singer, so I give preference. Nothing of these matters, and we have had such senior, wonderful people who have been and who still are our bhajan coordinators. For them, it is nothing. It is the session. It is a session that is of topmost importance for Swami. Yeah, when Swami would physically guide us, it was that, whether Swami is happy or not. So if we keep ourselves competent and selfless, I think we can, the bhajan coordinator will be able to do a very, very competent job of it. And practice of a session with the instrumentalist is very important. Before a bhajan session, I'm sure all of you make out a list. So even before the actual session happens, sit together so that we know how many times a line is repeated, and when does it go fast, and whether a bhajan has a third speed. There are so many things to consider. So a practice session before the bhajan session will be very important. Types of bhajans in a session, we typically start with a slow bhajan, and a few, maybe 3 bhajans in a session of 45 minutes. I'm saying 3 in an hour, 4 bhajans maybe, which are slow, in which people who come in and sit for bhajans are getting into the mood of the bhajans and slowly get into the mood of the bhajans. But it is so important that we don't leave them there. We leave them peaceful, and if they continue to be peaceful for too long, everybody is going to sleep. So this is again, somebody else asked, how do we make a bhajan session not boring? See, the whole idea is, if we are going to pray to Swami, we need to be awake during a bhajan session, right? So few slow bhajans so that people get into the mood, and then move to medium speed bhajans and go on to a crescendo where we sing fast bhajans in the end. So that is one thing. We always say at the end of a Shivratri, imagine, the last half an hour, and everybody is like, Shivratri is ending and the Josh is high after 11 and a half hours of bhajan. And imagine you go and sing Bhavanasha Puttaparthi Puisha. Oh my God, everybody is going to sleep, right? Because this is the last half an hour of a 12-hour bhajan. Whereas when the Shivratri bhajan started, this bhajan would have kept everyone in the mood to get into the Shiva Maya, to get into the emotion of Lord Shiva. That will be beautiful, but not at that. So start slow, go medium, and end fast. And we typically have all gods. Swami would say, don't, Krishna, 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 Rama, 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 Rama. No, the whole bhajan is not there. Because like Swami is so beautiful, it's for the whole group who are following the bhajans with us. Somebody, Ishta Daivata is a Krishna, is a Rama, is a Devi, and then we have Sarvadharma bhajans. Swami is, for him, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam can't be more true than how Swami thought. The whole world is a family. So every god, whichever god is dear to us, if that god comes, Vithala, if that god comes in the bhajan, For that bhajan, because it is the Ishta Daivata, because it is a God that is close to our heart, the connection becomes dearer. That is the responsibility of the group, to make sure that gods are all, as many gods as possible are praised during a bhajan. And then Sarva Dharma also I just mentioned. And then we ensure that there are different ragas in the bhajans. For example, if we have only one bhajan, this again, the aspect of whether a bhajan will become boring, we're going to put everybody to sleep, or even whether we are going to make everyone cry. There are bhajans where we can, bhava bhajans are there, which, yeah, we can pray to Swami. But imagine a continuous stream of such sad bhajans. No? He Shivanandana, Jaya Jagavandana, Jaya Gauri Sutta, Pahi Gajanana, Daya Karo He, Daya Nidhe, He Bhagavan, Sai Baba, Tera Naam, Satya Sai Baba, तेरा नाम मन मंदिर में आओ गिरिधारी दाशरथे रामा जय जय. Isn't it depressing? In the sense, each of these bhajans, they are so beautiful by themselves. But if we know where to slot them and not continuously, we are going to have, there may be people who come to a bhajan session in a happy mode. We are going to make all of them, be sad like this at the end of, a stream of bhajans like this. So it's very important to change the raga, so that there are minors, there are majors, yeah, and similarly a beat, because bhajan is something that is vibrant. So as Swami says, it makes the myriad of throats come together in communion and get the vibration in the heart, Swami says. So bhajan session is something that is vibrant. So for that, mix it up. In the middle, have a beat that is a 6 beat. If you're able to have a 7 beat, and we have only a couple of maybe 10 beat, but mix it up somewhere in between. Put a different beat so that the bhajan session becomes whole. So these are just a few pointers towards the bhajan group sadhana that can be done, so that the entire bhajan session is beautiful for all the participants. And again, moving on to another aspect of raga and tala and bhava. Yeah, so this question of, isn't bhava the most important thing in a bhajan session? Yes, Swami says bhava is the most important aspect of a bhajan session. It is like, if raga and tala are like the flowers, Swami says the thread holding them together is bhava. That is the garland that you put around Swami. That is the importance of bhava. It makes the bhajan an offering to him. Otherwise, it is just a presentation. Raga and tala are just a presentation. Bhava is what makes it a prayer to him. And Swami also says it is like salt. Like food is tasteless without salt. And then there is this one story where Kasturi Garu approached Swami and said that Swami had gone to Vrindavan and Kasturi Garu was in Puttaparthi, and they were doing bhajans here every day. And then Swami came back, and Kasturi Garu asked Swami, we are singing with so much bhava over here, and when you went there to Vrindavan, in Parthi I was singing and I was hoping one flower will fall to show that, why Swami flower is not falling. All samitis
Salam, dear brothers and sisters. Apologies for that. I think Brother Ravi's connection went down and he will log in shortly. Salam.
Saram, sorry, can you all hear me?
Yes,
Yes,
we can hear
brother.
you. Salam.
So I was telling the story about Kasturi Garu. So he said, Swami, in samitis and centers, sai centers across the world, we hear that they pray with so much bhava to you, and then you show your presence with a garland falling down, with a flower falling down. Why didn't it happen? And Swami told Kasturi Garu, I know Kasturi, every time bhajan session was happening over here, your bhava was towards the clock. You're watching the clock and seeing whether the time is up for the Mangala Arati. So your bhava is on the clock. That is why Swami's presence you could not feel. It is such a powerful lesson. This is told by Kasturi Garu. It is such a powerful lesson to all of us, saying that what should be our connect, what should be our bhava, what should be our concentration. That is all of us in a bhajan session. It should be not on the clock. Thinking, many times we go to a bhajan session thinking about what happened in the office, whether my boss was angry with me or whether I was angry with my subordinate, and what is the shopping I need to do after the bhajan session. These are the things. When is the clock going to become 6 p.m, so that after that I'll be able to go and do my shopping. These are the distractions that we get in our mind, and the bhava means we are always connected to him. We are always thinking about Swami during a bhajan session. So that is one very important aspect of bhava. And we have told the story before where Swami told Pandit Shivkumar Sharma, the Santur maestro, where he told him that, see, my boys don't get enough time to practice like you all professionals, but yet you are saying that the bhajans are nice. How? And he said, Swami, they are your students, so obviously it will be good. Swami said, no, 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 tell. He said, Swami, I don't know. And Swami said, because they are pure at heart and they sing for me, Swami said. See, having been part of the group, then I know it is Swami is only being very, very, very compassionate towards us, and it is not true that we were pure of heart and we are singing for him. But when this lesson reaches us, we know that this is what Swami expects from us. Yes, he wants us to be pure in heart and sing for him, because it's such an important thing in a bhajan session that we become conduits through which somebody else's prayer can reach Swami. No, and unless our heart is clean, all the prayers going through this conduit towards Swami, isn't it going to become unattractive to the magnet? Yeah, the magnet is not going to attract even the prayers, because it is passing through this dirty heart, this conduit, this pipe which is not clean. So it is so important that we keep Swami as the primary focus during a bhajan session. Because talking about raga and tala, when we say bhava is the most important, then people say, then I will sing however I want. That is not the case. See, the caveat here is raga and tala are a given for bhajan, are a given. They must exist. On top of that, you give bhava, that is when your prayer reaches Swami. So we've had a few seniors in our midst who have asked Swami, saying that, Swami, we want to sing for you. And Swami, the all-knowing, would tell, Bangaru, he would always address, such people, as, gold. Bangaru, you want to sing for me? He'll say, yes, Swami, we want to sing for you. You sit in the puja room and sing for me. I will listen to your prayers. Now, this is a very clear indication from Swami that don't lead the bhajans, because, there are a few thousands who are listening, trying to follow the bhajans and, connect to me. You sit in the puja room and sing for me, Bangaru. I will listen to you. Swami so beautifully would say that raga and tala are important for me. It is not that just because you want to pray and you have bhava, you can start leading bhajans. That is a very important thing in this trio of raga, tala and bhava. Bhava is the most important to make it a prayer. Until then, as we already mentioned, it is just music. And Swami would tell some of the boys, it is something that we need to ponder about. There are some very, very musically trained people who have sung in front of Swami. And then Swami would look away and then say parrot voice. Parrot voice. Then you think, what is a parrot voice means? It is not a prayer coming from the heart. A parrot can repeat what we say, right? Is it saying it from the heart? No, parrot just says it from here. And it says Swami is saying parrot voice means just singing it from here. It should come from here. That is when bhava. And how do you get bhava? There are so many ways. Again, we can have an entire workshop session on just on how to get bhava. But concentrating on Swami throughout the bhajan session, not thinking of what has happened before, what has happened next, knowing the meaning. And then there is a beautiful story about how you can feel Swami inside, which is so important for us today, right? So there was this professor who was sitting, college professor, who was sitting on the upper portico in those days in the mandir here, and bhajans were going on, and Swami had gone out for darshan. He was not able to see Swami, so he was closing his eyes and he was following the bhajans. And that particular bhajan, he was imagining in his mind, he was imagining that to that bhajan, it was a Krishna bhajan, and Swami standing in front of him with his hand held behind, the beautiful pose of Swami, and Swami gently swaying and standing in front of him, in front of this professor. That's what he was imagining in his head. And all of a sudden during the bhajan, he opened his eyes to find that Swami was physically standing in front of him. And Swami was doing exactly what he was imagining in his mind. Swami had clasped his hands behind and Swami was gently swaying. And that is not all. Before Swami left from there, Swami said, Andar ka Swami, Bahar ka Swami, ek. Such a beautiful lesson, is it not, for all of us? So if we feel Swami so close to us, this mantra, which like a yantra, this mantra which brings the already close Swami, brings it closer, and we can imagine that is the outside Swami who is inside us. That is the inside Swami who is outside us. Okay, so that is one beautiful thing, how we can visualize. So this professor actually visualized Swami. So we can form a story, we can visualize Lord Rama, Lord Krishna, Devi, anything that we want, visualize inside the mind's eye. And that is what is going to manifest for us, as Swami showed. And when we say that we have to concentrate on Swami, and the bhajan session is for Swami, whether we are leading bhajan sessions, whether we are following bhajan sessions, it is for him. Once, I'm quoting Swami, where he says, bhajan is the process of singing that originates in the heart, not from the lips or the tongue like a parrot. Okay? It is the expression of the joyous thrill that wells up from the heart when the glory of God is remembered. It is a spontaneous manifestation of inner ecstasy. This is a joyous thing for Swami. Bhajan session is a joyous, vibrant session. No attention is paid to blame or praise that others may give. So the concentration is on Swami. It does not seek the admiration or the appreciation of the listeners. And I think this is a very important thing for all of us, bhajan lead group, whether we are playing the tabla, whether we are playing the harmonium, the keyboard, the dholak, the khanjira, the manjira, whether we are singing, whatever we may be as part of the lead bhajan group. A very important aspect is that we are seeking to please only Swami, right? So when this word please only Swami, this story comes to mind, where all the boys, we would sit in front and we would invite Swami to the hostel. Swami, please come to the hostel. Swami, please come to the hostel. And Swami would say, wait, all that. And then we would want, no, you must come. And finally the prayer shout from boys, instead of please come to hostel, would come, please Swami, please Swami, please Swami. That's all it would be. then Swami would wait for all this din to die down, and then Swami would say, correct, please Swami. What a beautiful lesson, right? If we please Swami, that is enough for us. So that is also a very important lesson for all of us as part of the bhajan group, that we are trying to please Swami. In fact, in the hostel once when Swami came and spoke to all of us students, he said, he told us many things about bhajan singing, and then he said, you're not singing bhajans for your fans. Swami in fact mentioned this. So again, where Swami has said that for, it does not seek the admiration or the appreciation of others, Swami has said. So we are all trying to connect to Swami. That is a very important part of this bhava aspect, how we can develop bhava. I just want to ask the organizers, it is 9 now. How many minutes before I finish? It's 9 p.m.
Sai
here in
Ram,
India.
Brother Ravi.
Yes.
No, you can continue as much as you can. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. I'll just continue for a few. I'll say a few more things because there were a few questions on what are the types of bhajans. I think this goes a little bit into the theoretical aspect of Sai bhajans, but the beauty is the more we ruminate about Sai bhajans in this way, it only becomes dearer to us, right? Sai bhajans becomes more and more dear to us. Once it becomes more and more dear to us, a part of our life, every situation during our day, we can sing a Sai bhajan. That will go out as a prayer to Swami. That is what eventually it is. You know, when we talk about Shravanam, Kirtanam and Smaranam, to first we listen to bhajans, and Kirtanam, Sankirtanam, we sing, and Smaranam is when it becomes a constant presence in our life. So the more we learn or the more we think about Sai bhajans, how beautiful they can become a part of our daily life in every situation. So there was a question about the types of bhajans. So just about genres, we can classify bhajans by genres. So we have say a Carnatic genre bhajan. I'll just give quickly some examples. श्री करे कृपा करे क्षेमं करे साईश्वरी शंकरी अभयं करे शुभं करे साईश्वरी. Yeah, so this is typically a Carnatic bhajan. So somebody who loves this genre of music would connect better through a bhajan like this. Another genre is Giridhar Nagar Kunja Vihari Madhuvan Sanchari Parti Vihari Giridhar Nagar Kunja Vihari. We would typically classify this as a Hindustani raga based bhajan. And another bhajan like this, just think, Jai Jai Gopala Sai Gopala Radhe Gopala Jai Jai Gopala. It is so light, right? It is so light and simple and flowy, and we can connect through this. And probably the biggest percentage of population who are following these bhajans can connect to such a sweet and simple bhajan like this, right? So this is a light genre of bhajan. And then you would probably have a little more complicated, like Anupama Sundara is a complicated bhajan, and either depends on how you sing Carnatic or Hindustani. And this is another bhajan, Madhava Mohan Shama Murari Radha Vallabha Hridaya Vihari Madhava Mohan Shama Murari. There are these twists and turns which you typically probably find in a ghazal. Somebody would get lost in this kind of a bhajan. So if we could classify the types of bhajans through genres, this would be something like it. And Swami has other classification, as Swami himself has said, the kinds of kirtana that exist, which flow into sankirtana as well. That is, the four types, that is the guna, leela, bhava and nama based sankirtan. So I quickly give an example. You can see what happens is every time we sing a bhajan, we can think, does it fit into a guna kind of a bhajan? Is it a leela bhajan? Is it a bhava bhajan? Is it a nama bhajan? And so many of our bhajans, it's so beautiful that it's not restricted to one emotion only. So so you could have a guna bhajan which has a lot of bhava in it. You could have a nama bhajan which has got a lot of bhava in it. You can have leela bhajan with guna together. So so many combinations are possible, which is what makes Sai bhajans so vibrant and so beautiful to all of us. So Ganga Jatadhar Gauri Shankar Girijaman Ramana Mrityunjaya Mahadeva Maheshwara Mangala Shubhacharana Nandivahana Nagabhushana. We are praising Lord Shiva with a lot of his attributes. So these are his gunas. Not just the physical gunas, even the other gunas of his, where we say that you're all forgiving. That is a guna. So this is one sankirtana of a example of a guna sankirtana, a bhajan. Kalyana Krishna Kamaniya Krishna Kaliya Mardana Shri Krishna Govardhana Giridhari Murari Gopi Mana Sanchari. Govardhana, Gopi Mana Sanchari. You think of the Rasa Leela. Kamaniya Krishna, Kalinga Mardhana, Kaliya Mardhana, Shri Krishna. So these are all the Leelas that Lord Krishna performed. So this is a Leela Sankirtana. Nandalala, Nandalala, Daya Karo Bhagavan, Bhavasagar se पार उतारो दया करो भगवान. Doesn't this bhajan touch our heart and just make us cry internally and say, Swami, I'm just squeezing my heart and pouring all my love to you, Swami, all our bhava to you. Many times we have these situations, when we call Lord, when we call Swami as the protector of the downtrodden, we need not think of somebody who is on the streets and downtrodden, without food to eat. We all have, Dina is something, some people who lack something. Dina Janodharana. When Uddharana, who does Uddharana of Dina Jana? So Dina, we are all Dina in a way, right? When you say Dina Dukhyun se prem karo, it means love everybody. We all lack something or the other in our lives, right? We may not lack physical things. We may lack something at the mental level. We may lack something in our heart. We may lack something spiritually, right? So a combination of all this is what, when we say Dina, we could be lacking in something else, one of these things. So when you say, Swami, I'm lacking this today. Please give it to me. Bhava Sankirtana is something in which you can just cry out to Swami, and not like in boohoo and cry with tears, but just see the emotion that you can literally squeeze your heart out to Swami through this. And then Vithala Hari Vithala Vithala Hari Vithala Vithala Hari Vithala पांडुरंग विठ्ठले हरिनारायण, पुरंदर विठ्ठले हरिनारायण. Yeah? Yeah. So I'm sure we all have said it by now. Yeah, this is Nama Sankirtana. Yeah, so this is a form of Nama Sankirtana where we are only extolling the Lord by taking His name. Swami in fact says that Nama Sankirtana is the topmost, where he says there is no other distraction of anything else. You just think of His name. That is where Nama Smarana is going to, as a Kali Yuga sadhana, Nama Smarana is topmost, where we just take the name. And how vibrant it is. Mostly you will see the vibration of the bhajans towards the crescendo of the bhajans. This is what will take it. Nama Sankirtana will take us all to that, towards that crescendo where we are connected to Swami, in one with Swami. A group singing, the importance of group singing. There was another question on that. Swami has already said, right in the beginning, a myriad of throats, everyone coming together. So Swami basically says it's not just the lead group. If they're going to sit there and sing the bhajans, that is not the end of it. If we want to purify the atmosphere, that is what Swami says is the efficacy of Sai bhajans. We must have everybody singing it. That is true group singing. Group singing along with claps. It is so important. Swami said that we must clap during a bhajan session, because Swami said the tree of our mind is filled with so many thoughts of these birds. Like if you want to chase away the birds from a tree, you would clap and chase them away. Swami says during a bhajan session, you clap. It will chase away all the other unwanted thoughts. Like I said, boss scolded me, shopping later, all these are unwanted thoughts, and make us concentrate on Swami. That is how important in group singing with claps. Because Swami himself has given this example. He said, suppose you're traveling from, I know you're probably from many countries, but taking an example, suppose you're traveling from Durban to Johannesburg, and late at night, and there's a place where there are no street lamps, and you're going alone in a car and your headlight fails. What do? You can't drive, right? You can't see the road. Yeah, it's a new moon night also, by the way, so it's dark all over. You can't. So if you're alone, you can't move towards your destination. Whereas Swami says if you're going in a convoy of cars, and if one car headlight fails, you have the headlights from the other cars which can direct you towards the destination. So that is what happens in group singing. When I may be shy, I may be reticent, I cannot sing. But in a group, when there are 100 people singing around you, sing loudly. Because Swami wants us to sing loudly. In a bhajan session, in fact, when one of the professors was meditating during a bhajan session in the bhajan hall, Swami went up to him and chided him and said, if you are going to do this during bhajans, you have no place in the bhajan hall. During bhajans, open your mouth, sing loudly. That is supposed to happen during a bhajan session, right? Because Swami said, we have all fallen into a well. Swami said, this well or this ocean of samsara, we have fallen into it. We are trying to get out of it, sorry. Bhavasagar se paar karo. So Swami says, when you have fallen into a well, if you keep thinking, see, none of you knew what I was thinking, right? So that's what Swami says. How will God hear your prayers? You have to shout, oh Lord, save me. So bhajan session is a session where you say, oh Lord, save me from this world. I want you. That is what a bhajan session is all about. So we have to sing loudly. And right, I will just move ahead to one very important aspect of a bhajan session, which is when Swami says a man has manners, a boy has behavior, okay, and a devotee has, everyone said devotion, Swami said discipline. A devotee has discipline. So in matters of the heart, because bhava is all about the heart, right? It's not about the mind. It's all about the heart. In matters of the heart where you're praying to Swami, Swami says, even in that I want discipline. Things like punctuality in a bhajan session. Swami was the one who showed us every day how to be punctual. He would be to the second punctual. If he would be standing and chatting, we call it chatting, beautiful times when Swami would be talking to the boys, sweet somethings, not sweet nothing, sweet somethings from Swami. And if the second hand went to, if it was a 5 o'clock bhajan, it went and touched 12, Swami would say, hey, start changing. That is, start the bhajan. For him, punctuality meant everything. If you are not there on time, don't be there. See, for Swami, it is like everybody is, looking in the front and concentrating on Swami. And I come late for bhajan. Right royally, I come and sit, in front of everybody. We are not like Nandi that we are allowed to be in front of Shiva. No, we are not. We have no business being between devotees and Swami. Just as we are not supposed to distract devotees away from Swami with bhajan singing, in the similar way, we are not supposed to distract them with our physical presence where we are not supposed to be. So punctuality is very, very important, and no chit-chatting. The number of times we have all been chided, all of us brothers who have been in the bhajan group, even for smiling at the wrong time, the wrong place during a bhajan. No. Discipline was so important to Swami. No looking here and there. Even to the extent that there was one brother, when he was taking the mic away from him, he didn't take it and give it to the next brother properly. He took it like this and gave. Because of that distraction, Swami stopped that brother from singing. For Swami, it is that important. No chit-chatting, no unnecessary movements. He told one brother, you look at the mirror when you practice. See how much you move. Don't move. It is so important for Swami. These things is what, these all make a comprehensive bhajan session for Swami. So when he says with bhava with this aspect of discipline, especially because it is happening in public. Like Swami said, if I have only bhava, go to your puja room and pray to me. We can be what we want in the puja room. But when it is a bhajan session, there are certain norms that we are all expected by Swami to follow. So this was the last thing that I wanted to touch upon, discipline for a devotee, because it is so important when we hear the term Mad Bhakta Yatra Gayanti Tatra Tishtami Narada. So we all think that wherever his glory is sung, he manifests. That is true. But there is an additional word, right? Mad Bhakta Yatra Gayanti. Wherever my glory is sung by a devotee, I come and establish myself there. So it is so incumbent upon ourselves to think, what does Swami expect me to be when he wants me to be a devotee? And one thing is discipline, yes. Among the so many other things that Swami has said, how we can be called his devotees. And we are all on that path where we all think that we want to reach Swami. And that is why, these beautiful opportunities for people like me to think about Swami and just share a few memories from what we have from those years that he blessed us with. So I thank all of you for this wonderful opportunity to think about him, to share his story, because history is nothing but his story, and that is all that matters to us in life, as the primary aim, having come into this life, is to learn how to live life in his love, so that we won't have to live lives afterwards again. Thank you all. Sai Ram. Sai Ram.
We are deeply blessed to have received such profound insights and divine guidance from you today, Brother Ravi Kumar. Your words have touched our hearts, reminding us of Swami's ever-present love and grace. We offer our deepest gratitude to you for guiding us on this journey of reconnecting with the divine. You have graciously answered most of the questions our devotees have sent during the workshop itself, but we have a few more that have just come in. If you could kindly bear with us a few more minutes, brother, I will begin with the first one. For many devotees, group sadhana is seen as bhajan training. But when you arrive at the center, you're simply asked which bhajan you will sing on Thursday and given the pitch without any further guidance. Do you have any advice for spiritual coordinators on how to conduct effective bhajan training? Thank you.
Yes, sister. I think part of being a competent and selfless bhajan coordinator, I think this probably falls under the uh, competence part of it. Competence doesn't necessarily mean only that I can sing well, or I can play the harmonium well, or the tabla well, and therefore I'm competent. It also encompasses the other things of how the coordinator makes the whole bhajan session come. So as I mentioned that it is ideal to have a practice session before the bhajan session with all the instrumentalists and the singers. And the other thing is, it is not that the singer is told what he or she should sing without um, um, I mean the as long as a coordinator, what we do typically is we get a list of bhajans. Even when somebody wants to enter the bhajan group here, we ask them not just if they're singing very well, we ask them, do you know at least 100 bhajans which you can lead, not just follow? And then we hear them out on multiple bhajans, and then when they say that we want to sing this, we want to sing that, then from that list of bhajans we can prune to what we think will suit their singing ability, their pitch, etc. Yes, if if I know what is my pitch, I will go and tell, we ask, do you know what shruti you want to sing on? They will say, yes, I want to sing on C sharp, for example. And then we will hear them on C sharp. If after that the coordinator feels that it is either low or too high, then we can adjust the pitch. But what we do is basically give the onus to the singer, because if the singer has become good enough to enter the bhajan group, then I think we can also allow them to choose what they want to sing and at what pitch they want to sing, and then make finer corrections on top of that. That would be a suggestion.
Thank you, Brother Ravi. Another one. Um, what is the appropriate distance between the mouth and the microphone, as we sometimes notice singers getting too close to the mic?
Yeah, in this, there is basically no one rule. Um, there are people who keep their mouth very close because they have very soft voices, and they also have the ability to not have the pitting. So when we are too close, and if we don't have a muffler on the mic, you get the tick tick sound. So if we don't have that, there are people who sing very softly who can manage to sing that close. Somebody with a louder voice who probably doesn't have control on those aspects would keep it a little far if you have a louder voice. Um, but I always feel that I keep a one fist distance between the mic and my mouth. That is something that has worked for me, and basically we could figure that out based on, I think the person handling the audio and the singers together can figure out over time which suits best.
Yes, truly said. Um, why is the bhajan Ana Hi Padega not sung nowadays? Is it true that it can be interpreted as giving Swami a command to come?
Um, I am not too sure about this, sister, because I don't remember this bhajan being sung in the Prashanti Nilayam regular bhajans by us. I have heard this being sung by the students in one of the campuses, students' campuses, but I don't really know why it is not sung. I can answer that. Only I have a very funny incident related to this. When you don't know the meaning of what you're singing, that aspect of this bhajan, but specifically, no, I don't know.
Okay, then we'll come to another one. Is it true that Sai Gajanana has been replaced by Pahi Gajanana?
That is right.
Okay, thank you.
Swami had come to the bhajan hall, and then when we said, no, Sai Gajanana was sung in a bhajan, he said, "Does it look like I have a trunk?" So from then onwards, we replaced it with Pahi Gajanana.
I have read in a bhajan guidelines book that the Vibhuti prayer, Paramam Pavitram, should not be accompanied by any percussion instrument. How much this is true?
This again, I really don't know what to say about this sister, because in the Prashanti Mandir we don't sing the Vibhuti prayer, um, and I have heard this and I have sung it across in some samitis, and I've heard it being accompanied by tabla in some places and not in some places. So what singing it along with tabla in a slow, this is just a thought that is coming off the top of my head. If we sing it to a slow pace beat, it would probably give structure to the Vibhuti mantra so that all can sing it together. Without a beat, it would be random.
Okay, thank you, brother. Um, why do some bhajan singers have ego?
This is a big question. Why does anyone have an ego? Right? So it is one of the Arishat Vargas that Swami has been asking us to get rid of. And as part of advices that Swami has given to us bhajan group, an ego is something that definitely should not be part of a singer. It is part of us being a clean conduit through which people's prayers are reaching him. And if it is going to be contaminated with ego, then he goes, right? If you have ego, he goes, is what is said. And Swami has told us, um, he told one very young singer sitting in front of us, saying that तुम अच्छा गाता है, तुमको बहुत चांसेस देता है, ऊपर लेके जाता है, तुमको ईगो आता है, उधर से छोड़ देता है, स्वामी said. And I think that is a warning enough for all of us, saying that if Swami, the very embodiment of humility, has shown us that in spite of all that he is, even notwithstanding, even if you ignore that he is divinity himself, as a human being, he has had the humility to learn bhajans from some students and practice with them time and again and ask them, is it all right? Have I learnt it right? This kind of humility we have heard from and learned from Swami. We have no business having ego about any of our abilities, I feel, which is only God given.
Yes, very well said. Should one be fully vegetarian to sing bhajans?
To sing bhajans specifically, I'll tell you, I have heard a discourse where Swami has said, you would find it online, saying that I would not like my devotees to drink alcohol, eat non-vegetarian food. Swami said that in a discourse. So that is something that we follow, because that is something that Swami expects.
Thank you, brother. What is the importance of correct meaning and pronunciation of lyrics in a bhajan?
Yeah, I think this I addressed during the pronunciation. I said no, it is
Yes,
very
yes,
important,
yes.
because the meaning would go, if you don't know the meaning, There was one brother who sang Jayananda Lala Jai Jai Gopala. Then he sang Mohana Morakha. Right? So this is what would happen when you don't know the right words, and you could mess up the bhajan in so many ways.
Yes, I think this is one very good question. How do we start a bhajan on the right pitch if we do not have a harmonium player?
Right. This comes only with practice. Only if we have practiced before do we have a mental idea of where the bhajan is supposed to start. Unless we have practiced it multiple times, we are not going to have, because each bhajan has its own scale. So we have whatever we term it as madhyam and pancham bhajans, and unless you know what is the highest line of the bhajan, you're going to start somewhere else. There are people who said Panduranga Vitthale Hari Narayana. If you start a bhajan, imagine where the highest line would go. That is a Panduranga Vitthale, because this only comes through constant practice and trying to get a hang of the Shruti.
Yes, true. Now, Brother Ravi, a very humble request from me. I wanted you to sing 2 lines for me. One of my favorite, Jai Sai Rama, Jai Raghu Rama.
Jaya Sai Rama, Jaya Raghu Rama, 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 Jaya Sai Rama, Jaya Raghu Rama.
So, thank you once again, Brother Ravi, for having accepted to be our guide in today's workshop and for sharing your wisdom and to inspire us to strengthen our bond with Swami through devotional singing. May Swami always bless you musically. Now, to formally express our collective thanks and to close this sacred gathering, it is now another privilege for me to invite our Zone 9 chairperson, Uncle Subri Naidu, to offer the vote of thanks. Uncle Subri has been a pillar of support and guidance to all of us, and we are grateful for his leadership. Uncle Subri, we warmly welcome you to share your thoughts and conclude this session. Jai Sai Ram.
Om Saram, dear embodiments of love. Swami's grace and blessings is equal to the proportion of effort and sacrifices that we make. I want to place on record my sincere gratitude to our dear brother Ravi for making the effort and the sacrifice to join us this afternoon and share pearls of wisdom when it comes to bhajan singing. When Swami started the organization, he started with Bhajan Manasa Bhajare, and he said, Bhajan is my bhojan, Bhajan is my food. It is so important that bhajan singers should sing bhajans that can elevate himself and the listeners spiritually. And Brother Ravi has given us all that we need for us to become better bhajan singers. So to all the listeners, practice makes perfect. And you heard Baba said to our bhajan singers in Prashanti, you have to sing a bhajan 100 times. So let us all try, as Swami said, an ounce of practice is more effective than tons of knowledge. We have got the knowledge from the Ravi this evening of how to sing bhajans, how to create good vibrations, and how all of us can benefit from bhajan singing. So, Brother Ravi, may Baba constantly and always bless you and your family. May he give you all the peace, good health, and happiness. Thank you for sharing these pearls of wisdom to all of us. We definitely needed it. Thank you very much, Brother Jai Sairam.
It has been my blessing, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. Thank you, Sairam.
Sairam.
Move on to the Mangal Arti. It's a request from all the devotees of Zone 9 for you, Brother Ravi, to sing one bhajan of your choice, the one which you like the most. Thank you.
I am at a loss because there is no one single bhajan that I love, but I will just choose one, I guess. Sai Ram, Sai Ram, गाएगी सदा सुबह और शाम, हर एक पल में हर एक क्षण में भजिए हम सदा तेरो नाम, गाए गीत सदा सुबह और शाम। कोई कहे तुझे जानकी रामा, कोई पुकारे राधे श्याम, हमरे लिए तुम साई भगवान, गाए गीत सदा सुबह और शाम। साई राम, साई राम।
Thank you very, very much, Brother Ravi. You have such a divine voice, taking us directly to Prashanti Nilayam. Thank you, everyone, for having joined us live. We will end today's program with Mangal Arti. Jai Sai Ram.
जय जगदीश हरि स्वामी सत्य समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति